and welcome back to the Aging Journey podcast. We are playing once again X Marks the Spot, the real world, and we're picking up exactly where we left off last episode. So, quick recap before we hop into the game. Last episode, you guys were formally kind of introduced to our characters, also known as the Piers. That's IERS. Not EE, but they are basically a rambunctious crew who run the central border of Lake Michigan in Chicago. Raymond, Cesar live in Kallie, and they run a totally legitimate touring company called 12 Ways Touring, where they take tourists and locals on the lake. You know, maybe they come back, maybe they don't. So a lot happened last game. Liv, you met with Geraldine over tea and learned that the left hand might know a little bit more than they are saying about what's going on in the sewers. Raymond, you met up with Gerald and partook in some light torture. But you also learned that there seems to be some other type of like network happening with the Russos, and there might be something going on with the way that they are doing business. And then you were all kind of interrupted in the sewers when there were literal rat people who were living in the sewers. But with the help of Gerald from the left hand, you all escaped with your lives. However, Kallie was injured, bitten by one of these creatures, and I'm sure she's totally fine. So right now, Cesar and Liv, you guys made your way to Volkov's warehouse because you did have a pickup that was scheduled for today. And you have already conducted that pickup. You just need to get it back to the office or wherever it needs to go. You can make that decision right now. And then Raymond and Kallie, you guys are at the hotel. Kallie, you're getting your wound looked at by some essentially mafia doctors. So let's just say what they are. However, there has been an interesting announcement that particularly Raymond, as you are in the lobby, have been able to kind of hear more clearly. But the Mrs. Russo has introduced some new friends, she calls them, called the Wise Men. And they are very strange looking, very tall, regal, three men that are standing on the balcony next to her who look quite ominous. And she says that they are there for your protection and your wellness, and you're to be nice to them, as they will be a new faction of sorts in the Red Syndicate. And the buzz has begun as everyone kind of looks at themselves very, very confused about this very strange announcement and these very strange people they've never seen in their city before. So let's see what Liv and Cesar are doing over at the Volkovs. You guys have picked up your shipment at the warehouse. You have two huge crates that have been wheeled out, and you have already signed for them, and they are ready to go. What are you two wanting to do next?
I think Cesar is just overseeing like the loading of the crates onto one of our trucks, and I'll turn over to Liv.
Hey, do you know if this is going to warehouse 2, 4, 6? Which one of ours?
Oh, I think it was warehouse 2, and we're going to have some discussions with a few people inside, and then probably just take them, on a trip like we always do.
Hey, who am I reaching out to this time to get this all organized? Do we have a guy already set up for it?
Oh, jeez, who was it? I think it was Regis.
Hey, well, I'll reach out.
Not Regis, I think.
I can have one of the guys reach out to him once we get towards the docks. Are you coming along as I escort these guys?
Oh, sure. If I let you do it on your own, you'll just end up killing them before you get the information we need.
Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of which, we should probably talk once we get in quieter quarters.
About what?
How, in are you with the Russos?
Well, I'm in Raymond. No, Raymond's in with the Russos. I'm in with the Russos.
Yeah, well, sounds like one of their snoops has been eyeing our territory.
I still think we missed a golden opportunity to cut out his eyes and deliver it back to the source, but oh well. They'll probably...
You know if Raymond's running anything that might be drawing extra attention?
No, even if he was, he's too smart to get caught.
Yeah, well, I've caught plenty of smart people, so it's still good for caution.
Well, probably the smartest thing he's done is not tell me about it, because I'd tell everybody else.
Yeah, anyway. If you hear anything, let me know.
Honestly, I thought you'd be more concerned about the giant rats, but I'll keep my ears out.
Don't tell me you believe that bullcrap too.
Well, I saw it.
That's funny.
You just wait. One of these days you're going to get bit in the ass, and then I will have to accept your apology.
Over my dead body.
If you're not careful, that might just happen. They got Kallie real bad.
Oh, yeah? Well, probably just some of the sewer scum or something. I don't know.
Sure. Whatever you need to get you to sleep at night.
Oh, I just sleep just fine.
Liv, who is this Regis? I'm assuming you guys are walking and talking.
Probably getting into like a truck and driving a truck or something.
Who is this guy who would be waiting for this package? What does he look like?
I think he is one of the people that organizes some of our favors that we do for our friends around town, and gets things nice and set up so that if we need to have a discussion with somebody, everything's ready when we get there, and he's ready to clean up any messes that we make when we've left.
Okay, perfect. So I don't know if you guys remember the map, and I can't 100% remember how long I said it takes to get to Rudolph, but they're like across the city, so to speak. So it would take you a bit, but it wouldn't take you that long in a car.
How late is it by now? Are we well into the evening time?
Yeah, definitely. It's nighttime outside.
I think the whole way there, Liv is describing in as vivid detail as she can everything she saw about the rats.
You guys sounds like you have inhaled way too much sewer smoke for today.
Oh, well, I'm definitely going to have to get these clothes dry cleaned, that's for sure.
Yeah, I assume we both smell pretty right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you've been running in a sewer all night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Speak for yourself. I don't know why we insist on doing business down there so much.
Well, would you rather be up here where people can see it?
I always prefer to be where people can see me and admire me, though maybe not at this exact moment.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough, I guess.
I think that's perfect timing when you say at this exact moment to have a very, let's call him suave, even debonair, older gentleman. Kind of like you guys are still driving to your dock, but you can clearly see him sitting or standing out where you are going to park. He's like waving you in as you come in, and you recognize him as Regis.
Hey, Regis, how's the night going?
It's going well, miss. But it's been a late evening, and you kind of see that every time he talks to you, he kind of blinks multiple times and sniffles, and like puts his hand to his nose. So what do we have here? We have two packages, or what are they called? Crates.
Yeah, we got two of them in the back here. Where do you want them?
He kind of turns around and points in the back, and you see two other guys come out to kind of help you with the package. They'll take them to the back. Man, it is so hot today. Yeah, so John and Casey, they'll take them back. Let me just get you guys some paperwork. And he walks over to get...
Regis, honey, we're in the middle of a blizzard. What do you mean it's so hot today?
No, Alexa, stop. Every time.
Alexa, play Despacito.
Every fucking... Okay, what did I say? Yeah, so what were you saying?
Oh, Regis, honey, we're in the middle of a blizzard. What do you mean it's hot out?
He grabs a clipboard, and he has like a pen, and he's handing it to Cesar. And as you guys are now closer to him, he doesn't have like a jacket on or a coat. He is just wearing like his clothes, which is just like overalls, and he looks like he's been working probably inside, but he's been probably standing outside for a while, but he's sweating.
Is this normal for him, or
does he have a glandular problem? What?
Great question. How about both of you roll me a brains?
Oh, great.
Oh, God, dice.
We love brains.
DC's gonna be 4, because I think this would be obvious. You do know this person. You made him up.
My brains are 10.
I rolled a 1. You're I got a D4 for brains, so.
Oh,
That's an 8. Hold on, I'm almost there. Okay, 10.
okay.
7.
Yeah.
Sorry, I rolled a 7.
I don't
Okay.
I found my D10.
Okay, yeah. Cesar, you grab the clipboard and you don't know what's going on with this guy. Maybe he was just recently working and that's why he's sweating. You don't know. It's not really a business. Liv, however, you are clearly attuned to these types of things and you can kind of, because you know everyone, that he Regis is a fairly normal guy in terms of what he considers cold and what he considers hot. You could probably put 2 and 2 together that he's sick, like he, maybe has a cold, maybe he has a fever or something like that. And so but he's still working. And he's just kind of like working through a cold. But it looks like it's not getting any better.
Regis, how long have you been sick?
Oh, I'm not sick, miss. No, I'm I'm actually really good. I'm fine.
Regis.
Yeah, this is gonna blow over. I actually just need to take some more pills, but I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Regis, it's very important to us that you're in the best of health for the work you do.
No. I'm so good, ma'am. I'm so good. I'm gonna get some water later. And he's kind of looking at you like, what will make you happy? Just don't send him home is the vibe you're getting.
Now, if you're worried about missing wages or something, we can work something out. But is there, a reason you're deciding to work your way through this?
Well, it's been a slow end of the year. We had so much to do, as the beginning of the year picks up. We're just really busy. So I just wanted to make sure everybody and the boys are good here. But as soon as we're done with this shipment, we're packing it in. So don't worry.
Hey, Regis, did Seamus bring anyone through here?
I vaguely remember someone looking fairly shifty and dragging someone behind him, but I didn't ask any questions.
Good man.
The 2 gentlemen take the large crates off your hands and puts them on like a dolly and takes them into the back. And the door begins to close as Regis kind of grabs the paperwork back from you and is like, all right, well, yeah, we'll pack it up now. And he turns to go back into the warehouse.
Good. You go home and get lots of rest. And if you're not feeling better by tomorrow, you let us know.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, you ready to go?
Oh, sure, but we need to stop by my house before we go anywhere else. I can't go to the hotel looking like this or smelling like this.
I mean, do we have any more business for tonight? Otherwise, I'm gonna head out and get washed up.
Oh, you don't want to go to the hotel?
I mean, is there anything important going on, or?
Just a big announcement. We've probably missed most of it, but we can catch reactions if we hurry.
Fine.
Okay, but first again, we have to stop at my place.
Fine. You better have an extra shower, because I need to get cleaned up.
You can jump in the pier.
Oh, wow.
I think I'll just use your shower. It's fine.
Fine, but don't use all my shampoo.
Lovely. You 2 leave the pier and you make your way down to Liv's. Where do you live again, Liv?
Kind of there. Conveniently close to the pier, I assume. I actually don't know what pier we're at, but
you and Cesar are next door neighbors, basically.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah, just across the river from each other.
Yeah.
Not that we acknowledge that.
So yeah, okay. You guys make your way back down. At this point now, it is quite late evening. I'll say that whole pickup, drop off, conversation, and get back has taken you guys probably about an hour and a half. So you have definitely missed about an hour and a half of whatever's been going on in the hotel. So I will go back to you guys once we see what they've missed with Raymond and Kallie. Raymond, you were standing in the middle of the lobby with, many of your compatriots all around you, people you've known in the city that have run the city alongside you for years, and looking up over the balcony that goes over the lobby up high. It's about 2 floors up, and seeing Mrs. Russo looking her best as she usually does, but flanked by these strangers who she now says has claim to the territory, and they're now friends, and very interesting, very strange. And everybody else around you, they're kind of not saying anything, but they're all saying something with their eyes as they look at each other like, what is happening right now? Confusion. And that's kind of where you are as she has just finished her delivery of, take care of them. And everyone kind of looks at each other stunned.
Is she still up there, kind of, or is she just dropped a bomb and left?
She is still up there. She is basically about to you can kind of see that at this point she's done her announcement and expecting that no one will say anything. She's about to go about her business. You see those three men, she's turning to them to bow and say goodbye and things like that. So she's about to leave the balcony.
Well then I'll pipe up and I'm going to be like, see now, Miss Russo, I just am wondering, will we still conduct business personally as we have before?
Go ahead and roll a charm. DC's gonna be 15.
Can I use my enhanced supernatural charisma? It's one of my criminal mastery things, which I think adds a D4, and if I roll a 4, it gets more?
Yeah, we're in a new session. Yes.
Dope. Okay, so I need a D20 and a D4. Rolling a D4.
You're also skilled at diplomacy, so we'll see what you get, and then I might give you another.
Oh, I rolled a 4 on my D4, and then 1D20. Go. I rolled a 4 on my D20, so super great.
That would happen.
Yeah.
But hold on. Let me see. You do have you're skilled at diplomacy as well, so I feel like let me see. Yeah.
But I did roll a 4 on my mastery, which means I can add 2.
Yeah.
So
I know. I'll say because you recently interacted with her and that was a fairly pleasant interaction. Your reputation with her is pretty okay in comparison to other people anyway. And you're skilled at diplomacy. So I will say that you can re-roll your D20.
Magical. Re-rolling my D20. Here we go. Do. Oh, that's so much better. It's a 19 now. Plus 2.
Oh, okay.
21.
Yes. Okay. So that's 5 over 15. So okay. She had already kind of turned away and was talking to someone, and she kind of turns over and the entire room goes dead silent. And for a moment there, everybody was like, what's going on? About under their breath, they were kind of chatting to one another. And as soon as you spoke, the entire room goes quiet. And she looks over at the balcony and makes eye contact with you. And for just a split second, you feel like she's about to blow a gasket. But she remembers who you are. She remembers where she is. And she kind of looks at the room, understanding, and you kind of see this, understanding that with this new announcement, if anyone was going to get enough support to challenge her right now, it would be you. So instead of doing what she would probably do with anyone else, which is basically chew them out, she puts a smile on her face, as she always does for you. Raymond, excellent question. Of course. Yes. No. Nothing will change. You will all be equal stakeholders, as we like to call you, in the city, and business as usual. These are simply enhancements for you all. Think of them as new toys to play with in the city, at your disposal.
Well, we can always use some fancy new toys.
the little chitter chatter of everyone else kind of starts again as they're like, oh, okay, interesting. It's not what I got the first time. There's a little bit of that undertone. And once again, as she begins to turn away, that smile fades just for that split second. But because your roll was so high, you can tell that that seething anger has come back in her eyes as she kind of looks away.
Oh boy. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Well, so who else is here? Is it
It's
Fatima's
everybody.
here? Is
In
everybody? Is even Rudolph here? 'Cause
Yes,
he-
and in fact, let me. Of course, I don't have my dice because I'm ridiculous. Hold on, and
I was rolling online.
I'm gonna roll a d4 to see who's closest to you, because as is requested, everyone has brought some sort, or everyone has sent a representative, and if they haven't come themselves, they have definitely sent a representative. So let's see who's closer to you. We'll say a 2 is Fatima, a 3 is Rudolph, a 4 is Esfera, because she is actually here.
Wow.
I
She
know.
didn't even show up to my party, did she?
I know. She's there. Let's see where she is. She might be lurking in the shadows. And then we'll say 1 is going to be, we're going to say 1 is going to be somebody else. Maybe, and I'll choose later. Maybe someone in the Rum Runners, maybe one of the left hands. We'll see what I do. Let's see what we got. Rudolph
Ooh.
is, I will say,
Levi.
uncomfortably close to you, you know, like right behind you, but like kind of to the side so that he can like whisper in your ear unnecessarily. Well, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, have you ever heard about any of these boys?
Never seen him before today, so not surprised. He
Not
kinda looks away.
surprised. Not surprised? What do you mean not surprised? If he's just walking away, I don't really want to be chasing after Rudolph in this setting.
That's
So-
who's closest to you, but you can look around and see who you can interact with. Everyone at this point, I'll say that Miss Russo has walked away, and so now everyone is kind of like turned to each other, and they're kind of talking a little louder of like, so I'm sorry, what are we supposed to be doing here? Like, what was that even announcement? Like, you can kind of hear everyone chattering, so you can see who you might want to approach, but everyone is here. I'll say Esfera is furthest away from you.
Dang it.
Yeah, she's all the way across the room, and she's like not even on the same. She's not even on the same, like, she's on like a half of a step, shrouded in shadow. Like, everyone knows it's her, but you would need to get close to even see like what her face looks like, type of situation.
Well, I guess I'll make my way across the room, hoping to catch her before she mysteriously disappears into the night. But if I run into like Fatima along the way, I probably want to talk to her most.
Okay, yeah, well, you can probably do that. As you're making your way across the room, Kallie, you were kind of sequestered to the side there with the doctor as he's been cleaning you up with his little doctor's bag. He's been asking you exactly what happened. You've been giving him details. He doesn't quite believe you about the rat situation, but he is being nice and treating you accordingly. And he's like, okay, well, there you go. You're all good. You're set. So, all right. And he's ready to move along.
But I don't quite feel right, Doctor.
I mean, you have a bad gash here, but I've patched you up. Nothing too abnormal about it. Bad bite, but I think you'll heal in time.
You have not treated anybody else for these injuries yet?
Oh, he kind of thinks to himself a little bit. Make either a charm or brains roll here, and then let me know which one you want to choose, and then I'll give you the DC.
Brains?
Okay. DC is gonna be 5.
Oof. Not rolling well already. We get a +1 for the brains. That's still not great. 3.
Okay.
I'll spend some adversity tokens.
Oh,
to make the
okay.
5.
Just to meet it?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on, he starts kind of talking a little bit about your wounds and how he's kind of patched you up. And he doesn't seem too worried, but as soon as you ask about, oh, has he done this for somebody else? He's like, oh, well, yeah, I've had bites before. I guess they have been similar. That's weird. But, you guys got to stop going in the sewers. And so you kind of gather as he's talking to you about some of his other people, you gather a couple of things. One of the things is that definitely, obviously, everyone who he has treated who's been bitten has been bitten in the sewers. But you also can kind of gather that based on what he's saying, he doesn't think you have any type of like infection in terms of like an abnormal infection, like venom or something strange. But that doesn't necessarily mean you don't have like a regular infection, or you might not get a regular infection. And so I'll say that based on your role, you can kind of come down from that innate fear you had, and kind of trust in that, yes, you were bitten by a strange rat person, but most likely that weird symptom of thinking there was venom was kind of hallucinogenic.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you for patching me up. Hopefully I won't see you again soon.
Absolutely. Well, it's good seeing you. We better see what this is all about.
Yeah, quite weird.
At this point, he walks back to his group. I don't even know where he came from. Wherever he came from, he goes back to that. And then you have free reign of the area. I'll say you can kind of see everyone. It's fairly crowded in here. Like, there's a good amount of people here. And then just like I told Raymond, everyone is here. I'll say that the doctor, though, brought you over to the side of like the room. And so I'll say that you are most likely, let's see who you're closer to. We'll say 1 is Fatima, 2 is Aspira, and 3 is Randolph as he walks away from Raymond. Okay, you're actually, as you guys part from one another, you feel a bit of a cold draft to like the right of you. And when you just like, randomly look to the right, you see a woman shrouded in darkness. And you recognize her just from like the back, because she's wearing kind of like a flowy, long black gown. It has a bit of a satin / like tulle type of situation, but it's like muddied, like a swamp witch dress, basically. And she also is wearing a really long veil over her face that is also like a gray-black. And she is standing right in the corner. And even though there's a lot of light in this room, there's darkness shrouding her area particularly. And she is standing basically a couple of feet from you.
Okay. Had Kallie heard the announcement before this?
I'll say particularly as you like finished with the doctor and came out, you obviously heard the announcement, and you even heard what Raymond said.
Okay. I think she's trying to like read the room to see how people are responding to this and just see if she can pick up on any conversations. But
how do you want to just walk around, or do you want to do something in particular?
Let's see.
Let's get an image on here.
I guess I do have like a body language kind of ability. I don't know. I guess it's kind of obvious. People think it's unusual, but does anybody seem like it's not a surprise to them who would not be like way up there?
Does anyone seem like they'd... Well, you just heard Raymond. I'll say that you came out just as Mrs. Russo was like responding. So maybe if you'd like, you can roll something to see if you can catch what Raymond caught.
Okay. Yeah, because I guess she's curious if anybody is like not surprised and like on board with this kind of.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll say you come out just as that happens, and you're kind of scanning the room.
Yeah, I guess would this be like a grit like street smart sort of thing, or a
Yeah, it can be. If you
Okay.
tell me what you're, well, you kind of told me what you were looking for.
Yeah.
And since I think these are, these are your compatriots, right? You know these people, but you're also not trying to like talk to them. You're trying to just get a sense of how they're reacting to Mrs. Russo's announcement, and maybe even Raymond's back talk, essentially. Okay, let's see. Now there are a couple of. There's going to be. I'm going to do actually 2 DCs.
Okay.
Because all of the. I'm going to say. Sphera is clearly here herself. I'm going to say Fatima sent someone because she's had a hard couple of days. And then Randolph were here. So to actually catch particularly a Sphera, that's going to be a very high DC. But I'll say to catch that interaction with like Raymond and Randolph and to get that off of Randolph, I'll say that's going to be a higher DC. And then everyone else is going to be a lower DC. So let's have everyone else be a DC 6. But Randolph to kind of catch what he thought, that's going to be like a DC 10. And then Sphera is a DC 15.
So is it multiple rolls or?
No, just one roll. And we're just
one roll.
Catch, yeah.
Okay, so I got a 12. Can I use the body language mastery or body language, whatever? Would that apply here? Being able to read people or?
You could. That's a heart instinct.
Yeah.
So let's see. What are you wanting to do with that? Let me look at the
if it applies or not. I didn't have the description in front of me.
So body language. You can read people like an open book, like sensing hidden fear, deception, and ulterior motives. You're going to roll an additional D4, and on a 1 to 2, you uncover. You don't uncover really anything. On a 3, you can add a +2, and it says charm, but I'll let you add it to your grit. And then on a 4, something special happens. So.
All right, I just rolled a 4.
Oh, okay, okay. So you get a +2 still to your grit roll.
So that would be 12 plus. So it'd be 14 total. You said to get a sphere, it'd be 1 more, 15.
Yeah.
I'll spend the adversity to move it up.
Kallie's cleaning up over here just by scanning the room.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sierra, and so that means you're able to read Randolph, the Sphera even, and pretty much everyone else in the room. And I'll include Russo, even though she's high up, and you're just kind of catching. But because you're catching that interaction, I think that's you'll be able to read everything you need to read. But you're also going to be the first person that gets a +1 to your reputation. So you'll just add a +1 to where it says reputation on your nerve. Okay, so Kallie. So at this moment, right, Kallie, you walk out, you hear the end of that announcement, you kind of see Mrs. Russo about to turn away and, go about her business. And silence comes as Raymond speaks up. And in that moment, just like Raymond sees as he makes eye contact with her and she makes eye contact with him, you can clearly see that Mrs. Russo is extremely angry and pissed and is wanting to say something probably quite vicious to Rudolph. To Raymond. But you kind of see that entire interaction. You see her anger and her annoyance. You see her calm down. You see that realization that if anyone could challenge her in this moment and actually get some people that would follow him, it would be Raymond. And so she changes her tune a bit. You also see, and this is something that Raymond doesn't see, you also see that absolutely everything that comes out of her mouth that she's saying to everyone is a bold-faced lie. There is not going to be This is not going to be business as usual. These people are not your friends. So that's what you see from that interaction. Then you see the interaction with Raymond and Randolph, with Randolph kind of, being weird and slinky over in the corner and kind of coming out. And you'll see that on his face as he kind of hears this announcement, he doesn't look surprised, but he also has another look on his face. I'm going to say he looks, I don't know, like almost like smug, but like annoyed at the same time. And you're not 100% sure what that means because, Randolph has a weird mannerism. But you can tell that he's thinking of something weird. And so as Raymond speaks up, you watch the whole interaction that Raymond can't see, which is Randolph kind of walking up behind Raymond, and listening to everything he's saying and watching Mrs. Russo's reaction, and then getting unnecessarily close to talk to him for 2 seconds before he leaves. I'll also say, do I want to give you that? I might actually ask for a roll. Maybe that was a good roll, but I'll give it to you. I'll also say you notice that Randolph slipped something into Raymond's pocket.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so you see all of that. So it was a really good roll. So you see all of that. And then as you kind of look around the room, you also see that I think people are just mainly confused. And some people are annoyed. A lot of people, they don't necessarily have surprise on their face. They're just kind of you kind of saw them go from what's happening to, okay, I guess I get what's happening. So it looks like pretty much everyone except for Randolph was okay, this is new information, at least. I'll say that you also notice that there is someone here from the left hand. It's not Gerald or Geraldine, but it's just a representative. And they're openly taking notes so they don't have to remember everything, so they can report back. But they also don't seem to feel like this is particularly a surprise, but also you don't think they kind of have the caliber, that person to actually know what's going on internally. You just know they're there to get the information and report it. And then finally, so you're scanning the entire room and you finally get to Asphira. Asphira is a interesting woman. She's been known to give a bit of a ghostly vibe to her because of the way she kind of moves, the way that she's able to stand completely still. She is often referred to as otherworldly. And so she has been standing in this corner this whole time by herself. She doesn't have any people with her, shrouded in darkness, wearing her black outfit and also her black veil, in complete silence and also just complete stillness. And so you, even with that role, you're able to tell that she is listening, but you can't even really see her face because it's shrouded in a veil. But she doesn't give any indication of anything. She just seems to have been listening to this whole situation. And you kind of see she begins to turn and leave after hearing the announcement. So that's everything you capture.
All right. I think Kallie probably not so smoothly is staring at her as she turns to leave and
I love
still
that.
trying to figure her out. Yeah.
If you're staring straight at her, go ahead and roll a charm.
Yeah, it's not gonna go well. We know what my charm die is.
Let's actually make it opposed
All
to
right.
her.
I exploded.
Oh, see?
Let's see if I can do it explode again.
She got a 3. So you got to beat a 3.
I got 6.
Okay, look at that. That's
Yeah.
Okay, not 5 over, but pretty good.
It's very high for Kallie.
So yeah, you are staring at her after you've gathered all of this information. And instead of turning away from you to walk out, you can tell that she is turning towards you so that her body and her face will eventually be shown to you as much as it is under the veil. And just as you're staring at her, she kind of looks over at you, and you can kind of tell just from the eyes, you assume that's what they are that are looking back at you. They're kind of like a chrome shine that's coming from under the veil as she looks at you. And then she continues to walk away. She has acknowledged you.
Yeah, Kallie gives this nervous, trying to hold it together nod, but is trying to convey respect. So I think with that role, maybe it did well enough.
And with all of that knowledge,
yeah,
you are able to go about the room as Randolph, you can kind of, or not, I keep calling Raymond Randolph, but as Raymond, why did I do that to myself with 2 R's? As Raymond makes his way across the hall, and Asphira walks past you, and you can also see at this point that Raymond is trying to get to Asphira.
Okay. I guess I don't know if I want to stand in the way. How is Raymond going to be able to intercept, or should I?
I'll say you can tell he's gonna just miss her.
Okay.
No.
Asphira, just a moment.
Okay.
Call after her.
Let me get her stats out here.
Yes! Yay! Kallie to the rescue.
Remember everything Liv has told you.
Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. You say Asphira, and I don't believe. Well, I'm gonna just say that even with Liv, who knows everyone, I'm gonna say no one knows Asphira. She is quite. She's still very much, almost basically exiled in terms of how people interact with her, and so she has recognized you, like noticed you. You think she looked at you, so we can kind of, I'll assume that that's a positive. You don't know that, but we'll assume that was some sort of positive. So as she walks past you, and you get like a very cold chill, because there just seems to be a bit of a coldness surrounding her at all times. And she kind of walks past you, and you call out to her. I'll say that she doesn't stop, but you do see her head turn. And I'll say that as she's walking straight, but her head is basically almost turning 360 degrees to look back at you, which is probably not great. So go ahead and roll me a grit. DC is going to be, I'm going to say that's kind of creepy. Let's say a 9. DC is going to be a 9.
Oh man, that's a good die for me too. That's a 3.
Okay. You call out to Asphira, trying to stop her. She continues to walk, but her head, as I've mentioned, basically turns 360 degrees to, I guess, look at you. Again, you haven't actually seen any face on her. You've just seen like chrome shining eyes. This time when it turns back to you, it's almost like when she looks at you this way, you feel as if there's like, you get like some joint pain, and you also get like a feeling that cold is like literally entering your bones, and they are shattering from the inside out. And you are paralyzed with, I would say, awe, but also fear. And you can't really speak anymore. And she continues to walk on. And this is when Raymond probably gets to you.
Dang it.
So close.
Well, that was a good try. Did I observe from across the room?
I'm gonna say all you really saw was the sparrow walk past Kallie. Kallie turned like to her to like say something, probably to be like, oh, hold on one second. So you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you just kind of see Asphira continue to walk. You don't see the 360. So you kind of just might assume that she just, kept walking. She was like, I don't know you. And, I'm gonna just keep going.
Asphira. Damn it. Well, that was a good try, kid.
Meanwhile, Kallie is like turning blue.
Yeah.
Oh no. Did that rat actually poison you?
Asphira, did you see that?
Why no. No, I did not. See, I just saw you trying to stop her, and she just kept on walking. And ain't that just like her?
Her head spun all the way around.
She what now?
And I'll leave you two to have that interesting conversation. And we'll go back to see how Cesar and Liv are getting on. I'm assuming in Liv's very nice apartment, taking showers.
Oh, I will interject briefly to be like, canonically, I had put on waders and boots to protect my clothes, so I don't smell nearly as bad.
That's true. That's true.
That tracks. If you do business in the sewers, you probably just have a set.
I had them in the car waiting for me.
You did say that last episode, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can confirm.
Very important to Raymond.
Love it. Liv and Cesar, however, not so forethinking and bringing waiters. You two, what are you guys doing, and what's your plan moving forward?
I mean, take a shower. I mean, my work for today is done, so I guess I'm just following Liv around.
Excellent.
Look, you wanted to go visit the boss. I'm just with you, I guess.
Well, perfect. We'll get cleaned up, and unfortunately, I don't think I have any clothes around that'll fit you.
That's surprising with how many guys you bring over.
I don't bring guys over here, silly. I go over there.
I don't care.
You should feel flattered.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, I'm going to take a shower, and you keep your eyes to yourself until I tell you otherwise.
Fine. I'll go. If you have like a library or a study, I'm just gonna snoop. Don't mind.
Oh, good.
I just wander and snoop. I
Okay.
make sure to start once you're in the shower.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. Yeah, Liv's I'm gonna shower as quickly as possible, put on another completely adorable outfit, and then hopefully catch him snooping.
Cesar, while you are in, we'll say you have a pretty nice small library. While you were in there, you hear a creaking as the door opens slowly, and Lawrence shuffles in, and he is holding in his hands a 3-piece suit, exactly to your measurements. Oh, young Mr. Krieg, I have some. There's just a few things I had in the back. I just tailored them for you. They should fit good. Here you are.
Well, thank you kindly, Lawrence.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're so young, whippersnapper. And
How old are you, by the way?
he looks at you and goes, "So funny. All right. Well, you enjoy. Don't go stooping too much, kids, today." And he walks out.
He's a good guy.
Liv, when you're done, and Cesar, you're done, I'll say that you guys begin to make your way to the hotel. And outside of the hotel, Seamus is waiting for you, Cesar. He has also changed his clothes, and he's kind of just like standing outside in the cold, not going into the hotel, but he knew that you guys would get there eventually.
Seamus, good to see you. You took care of
Hey,
our friend?
Friend?
Yeah, colloquial term. Our gentleman in the sewers from earlier.
The gentleman in the sewers.
You've forgotten him, it's fine. Are Raymond and Kallie still here?
I don't know. They might be. Go ahead and roll brains. DC is gonna be 10.
Alright, let's see what that is. That's a 2.
Okay. Seamus kind of goes, Am I done for the day? I did the thing you asked. So I was just gonna go home, maybe eat some potatoes and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, boss. And he walks off.
He didn't really forget about our friends already, did he?
You never know with that kid.
That's true.
But
I find it better not to ask.
But he definitely took care of our friend, right?
Yeah. Seamus gets done when I tell him. He got it done. Now he's moved on. So should we.
Okay then. Let's
All
go
right.
see what this big announcement was.
Alright.
Perfect. You two make your way into the hotel. The place is bustling. People are chatting and talking and shifting around. Whoever was there who may have been of interest, like Isfira and Fatima, they're gone. But you do see Raymond and Kallie talking to each other up in the corner. No one is up on the balcony anymore. You guys have missed the whole thing, unfortunately. And now you just kind of got to get it through gossip.
I'll go over to the bar and grab a couple drinks and then grab one for me and one for Raymond and head over.
Perfect.
I will head straight for Kallie. Like, hey, Kallie, how you doing? The doctor said you don't have weird sewer babies?
That is what the doctor said, but I don't know if he's treated that before. So I feel better though.
Good.
Raymond, that reminds me, maybe not in front of everybody, or we can give you cover, but Randolph put something in your pocket.
He what? I'm gonna try to sneakily check my pockets.
Okay. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-da.
Is it like his number or something?
Oh, could be. That's
Oh, if
probably
you want his number, I can just give it to you.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not opposed, but he's kind of grumpy.
Go ahead and roll flight, and it's going to be opposed.
It's my foot. It's a
All right.
D10.
Oh, okay. You need to beat an 11.
Oh no. Okay, let's see. D10. Rolling. It's a 10.
Okay,
So,
not bad.
but that's a D10. So that explodes, right?
Oh, yes, it does.
Kabow. And a 1. So I got exactly
You literally got exactly an 11. Oh, so lucky. Okay. You you put your hand in your pocket, and what would have most likely been a very light prick of your finger, you simply can like feel that there's something sharp, and so you like quickly take your hand away just as you touch it, and so it doesn't pierce the skin. But you'll need to figure out like a way to like take it out, because if you put your hand back in there, it'll probably hit whatever it is.
Okay. Well, I do have a handkerchief.
Perfect.
You also have a master pickpocketer on
That's
your crew.
also true.
You could
I
also
will-
just take off the pants, you know.
In the
Right
middle
above
of
you.
the lobby?
Yes, in the middle of the lobby.
Now, this ain't that kind of party, see?
There are
I-
three kinds of people.
I will turn to Liv. Liv, the thing in my pocket seems to be sharp and was probably attempting to murder me. So, could you maybe take this out of my pocket?
You're okay with Liv being murdered by it?
Well, she has much more tact than I do. I feel like she'll be fine.
Raymond, if this was anybody else, I think it was a really weird come on, but from you.
I like rats, I'm not into cats.
That makes a lot of sense.
You're skilled. Are you wanting to use anything in particular?
So
I
our
will
first
offer you the handkerchief if you would
Yeah.
like.
so we don't have our second or third chronomasteries unlocked yet. Or do
No,
we?
but you don't need it for this because you're
Okay.
you're already proficient.
I am quite literally skilled at pickpocketing.
Yeah. I was just asking, did you want to like use something? Are you using like was it tweezers or handkerchief, or are you putting your hand in? Oh, okay.
I'll take Raymond's handkerchief. Just to be safe.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll say that you are able to get it out, but also go ahead and roll a flight. DC, because you're proficient in pickpocketing, it's just only going to be a 4.
Okay, that's my D20, so watch me roll a 1. Oh, I rolled a 15.
Hey!
That is not a 1. Well, a 1 is in it, but
Easy. Absolutely no problem. You pick it up. It doesn't even scratch you or touch you or anything. But as you take it out, you're kind of expecting as you like open it for it to be like maybe like a little tiny knife or like glass or something like that. But instead, when you open up the handkerchief, you think it's a bug, kind of like a firefly, because it begins to fly out of the handkerchief.
can I try and trap it back in the handkerchief without crushing it?
You can try.
What's that gonna be?
You're pretty stealthy. I would say it's not trying to bite you. It's just trying to fly away right now. So it's just going to be flight again, just to like catch it. And then once you catch it, we'll see what happens. And then we'll see if it's damaged when you catch it. Actually, I'll say if you try to catch it with the handkerchief, it'll probably get damaged. You'll need to catch it with something else.
And I'll hand her one of the glasses for the drinks. Just dump it out real quick.
Perfect timing for Cesar.
Perfect. I will take the glass and try and all of
Okay.
my cat instincts are activated right now.
Okay, go ahead
My
and roll
pupils
flight
are
again.
really big.
DC is also still going to be 4. It's not moving very fast. It's literally moving probably the flight of like a bee or a firefly, like that slow.
17.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're able to, as Cesar kind of comes up and as you all kind of see, it's kind of cute. It does look like a little cute like firefly bug. So it's just slowly flying away. And then you just grab a glass and catch it. And then you all get to look at this little tiny bug. It does, you can kind of see as you look at it, it does seem to have like little pincers, but it looks like a normal bug if you guys have ever seen one.
Was he trying to kill you for speaking out?
I don't know. Maybe this is like one of them bugs that the FBI use.
Yeah, you all missed it. Raymond really pissed off Ms. Russo.
What did you do?
I merely asked if our business relationships would stay intact. Miss Russo this evening announced that these 3 wise men will be taking over the territory, as in everyone's territory.
Like, taking over territory, or,
It
what do you
was
mean?
very unclear, which is why I tried to get more information. However, that seemed to be not what she wanted to do.
Yeah, and she was definitely lying when she said things would be the same.
Yeah, I don't think our lives are gonna be quite the same anymore.
I mean, were these like, that snoop we caught earlier, or, something else?
What did they look like again? Were they like all in robes like actual wise men? Or
When she said when they came out, they kind of just looked like, yes, people in like long robes, so that was weird. And then when she gave them the name, you were like, oh, it's given zealot. it's giving something weird and culty. So yes, they basically have like long robes that like are black with like accents of gold. And you could kind of see their faces. They look like regular.
Not on the balcony anymore.
No, they're all gone.
Where did they go? Did anybody see? They just go back into the penthouse, or
You know that they left the balcony, and they didn't come down to the lobby. So, but you also didn't see them go through the front door of the lobby. So either they maybe went out one of the back ways, or they're still here, but you just can't see them in the lobby. So you'll have to go and like try to find them.
Ms. Rizzo said they were a resource. I'm inclined to ask these fellas what kind of resource they would be offering.
Oh, look, I mean, she's already got snoops in our turf. Is this some sort of takeover kind of thing? I mean, we worked pretty hard to get where we're at. I don't intend to slow down anytime soon.
If it's a takeover, it's a takeover of everybody. It's a complete power shift from the Russos to the Wisemen, which doesn't make a heck ton of a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, the one thing I do know is Randolph wasn't surprised.
Randolph or Rudolph?
Rudolph?
He is Rudolph from the... I don't know why I changed his name to Randolph.
It's Randolph, okay.
It is Randolph, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm
yeah,
gonna mix
Randolph.
those up
Yeah, no, I
all
know
the
who you're
time.
talking about.
You know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who looks kind of like Rudolph, but, he doesn't have a red nose. Or maybe he does. It's all the alcohol. Anyway,
He also, I mean, did he just, like, look at, like, Callie's gonna try to look at, like, this, like, insect that came from Raymond's pocket and see, like, did he try to kill you, Raymond? Like, what is this about?
he seemed to be unsurprised by what was going on. He said it was only a matter of time before this happened, which makes no sense to me, as
But
Rudolph
why-
seems to be making his own moves.
Why put this in your pocket? What is this?
I have
It's like,
no idea.
Dangerous or something? We could always give it to one of our boys and have them, I don't know, get to bite someone.
Does anybody know any magic? Maybe it's a magic bug.
So,
I don't know. I seen rat men today.
Kallie, as soon as Raymond says, "Does anyone know any magic?" you immediately think of course, Sphera.
Oh yeah, Sphera, her head spun, and she radiates coldness. Has anybody been close to her before? Any of you?
That's a good point of clarification. In the Christmas version, obviously she and I were besties.
Mm-hmm.
What is our relationship like in the real world?
In the real world, I think you guys have probably the same level of relationship you have with like Geraldine.
Oh, okay. So I still think we're besties.
Right.
Perfect.
However, I don't know if Kaylee's even said this to everyone, but you would all know that Asphera has a very unique mannerism about her. She does not usually talk to anyone, look at anyone, or really engage with people, particularly when she's not inside her own territory type of situation. She feels most comfortable when she's in her own territory, and when you come and visit her and she gives you permission to be in her presence. She's just that type of boss. And so for right now, I don't know if Kallie, I don't think she has said this, but you all would be surprised if she did look at Kallie.
Oh.
Yeah, her eyes, they were metallic looking. It was weird. Liv, you've looked in her eyes before?
But no. I've been trying to meet her. Oh, sorry. She was
well,
asking you.
You should have just said something. She's a sweetie. She's just kind of shy. We could go
No,
visit her. Well, maybe not all of us, but I could go visit her.
You peeked inside her veil.
You all immediately hear Liv say this, and you're like, absolutely not.
How much sewer schmuck have you been huffing?
Liv,
crazy.
Yeah. I know you say you're friends with these people. Is this true in this case? It's important here.
Of course it's true. Everybody loves me.
That's not what I asked. Or
what?
She's creepy.
Oh no, she's just quiet.
It's almost like she's not human.
Well, that would not surprise me, considering the giant rat men.
Look, you guys keep talking.
And now,
she's not a rat person.
Cultist, and now a lady who can turn her head around.
Have you all just jumped into the crazy train or something?
Now, listen here, Cesar. I know you didn't see the things, but let me tell you, it was the most horrific sight I have ever seen, and I murder people for a living.
You got proof?
Sure. Kallie got bit by one. Look at this bite. It's rat teeth, the size of a person's head.
The doctor told me not to remove this yet, but if this isn't really the place to do it, Raymond.
So you got mugged by someone in the sewers, and look, I don't care about the rats or whatever. We got a situation going on here. We got these wise men we got to deal with now. I don't want to mess with any cult crap, okay? That never ends well. We need to figure out a game plan, right?
The issue is I don't even know what these cultists are like. Their deal is. All she said was that they're taking over and that they were assets. But what kind of assets? Like, did they just buy Russo? Like, what happened?
Could Russo be bought like this?
I mean, I feel like anybody has a price. But I know if I was head of the gang, you would have to get it out of my cold, dead hands.
Oh, maybe they did. Maybe Miss Russo's like a zombie or something.
What on earth are you talking about?
You guys are having this conversation in the lobby, correct?
While I'm also like pushing the glass with the bug in it around the table, seeing if I can get the bug to do anything.
Okay.
It explodes.
Then I'd like somebody to make a roll to see who's listening in.
I would like to say that since we're at the hotel, my assistant Betty is lurking around somewhere.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hopefully trying to keep away any too lowly ears.
Okay, well then with Betty's help, I'll say the DC, you guys can either do brains or charm. You'll kind of get slightly different information, but you can do either. And then with Betty's help, I'll say the DC is only 7.
Who's rolling?
I don't think
Anybody.
you want me rolling
Everybody?
either of those.
Anybody and everybody. Yeah. If you want.
I'll do
Whoever
it.
wants to see who's listening in.
What die am I rolling?
You can do brains or charm.
Crap.
Dang it. Well,
It's fine. I got this.
I rolled a 7, so that's nothing.
I exploded on my brains, so I got a
Nice.
15.
I got a 5 for charm.
I got. Let me find. I have my dice right here. I know which ones they are. An 11 for charm.
Okay. So Liv and Kallie, you guys got 5 over. And then Raymond, you meet it. And Cesar, what did you get?
I rolled a
Oh, I
5.
met it?
Yeah, because I think the DC was only 7, right?
Oh.
I think it's a 7.
I don't care.
Yeah, Cesar got 5. Okay. Cesar, you're still kind of reeling from why they keep talking about rat people.
Guys, y'all need to take a long rest today. Drink some tea or something. Clear your heads.
Raymond, you can obviously feel that there are eyes that kind of like shift over at you, but that's kind of normal. Like people are always looking over at you, trying to talk with you sometimes. So you don't necessarily think you're being like intentionally overheard, but you know, you're in a public space, so somebody's listening. Liv and Kallie, oh yeah, everybody's got their ears on this conversation. But particularly, you really see some heads like really turn and like eyes look in your direction, which is a lot less common because like that's, you know, you're going to get caught that way possibly. When Raymond kind of offhandedly says, you know, oh, well, if I was in charge, you know, you'd have to wrangle it from my cold, dead fingers. And Kallie, particularly, because I think you got the highest roll, I think you're putting things together that this is 100% some kind of a power play. You don't really understand what the wise men really are 100%, but you definitely can tell that there's some sort of a play here for more control from the Russos, particularly Mrs. Russo. However, there is only one person that would be considered competition that she is trying not to incite. And so right now, you're kind of seeing that some people might be slightly questioning their allegiance a little bit. And so so when they kind of overhear something like that, they're like, oh, what are they talking about? So that's what you all gather.
We really
Good,
should
the
not
plan
be
is
talking about
working.
this in her lobby.
Yeah, having this loud conversation in the lobby. Yep.
We didn't say we were good at our jobs.
We're good at
But
the kidnapping
also-
and murder part. The subterfuge we need some work on.
Well, I did clock that she realized that I could possibly make a coup happen. So definitely Raymond's trying to play this up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Kallie suddenly looks worried. It's like I think everybody is listening to us currently. Maybe we go somewhere else to have this continued conversation.
All right. Let's go up to the penthouse.
What should I do with this thing?
We should keep it.
But for real, are you friends with Aspera? Because I feel like if she can turn her head all the way around, she'll know what that bug is.
Oh, sure. I'll just send her a letter asking if I could drop by with something cool and magical and have her tell me what it is.
I love this for you, Liv. I really do.
You couldn't even tell me. You've never looked into her chrome eyes?
Well, you know, she's shy and she doesn't like it when people stare in her face. We can't all be pretty like me. Not that she isn't pretty. I'm sure she's gorgeous.
Okay, I'll say this is the time to make a decision. You guys are gonna head up to the penthouse, and somebody is writing a letter. And that letter's gonna have to say something. It's going to Aspera. So, what are we doing? Who's writing the letter? What does it say? And who's sending it?
Do we have any previous connections with Aspera?
We'll do the same thing we did with Geraldine and Gerald. Let's have everyone, it's just that the DCs are going to be pretty high.
Astronomical.
Yeah, right.
So we'll do, see, the thing is that charm might not necessarily work on her. So I'm actually going to allow grit, brawn, and charm, but the DC for charm is going to be different. So I'll have you roll, so you can choose to roll brawn, grit, or charm in this instance.
I choose charm.
And if you're rolling charm, your DC is going to be different. So for grit and brawn, that is going to be that at some point in your interactions in this city, you have come up against Aspira, because that's how she'd remember you, as someone who was an antagonist at some point, as someone who maybe did something in her territory you weren't supposed to do.
Ugh.
And so, yeah, so you got her attention all right.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
So it'll be one of those,
Brian.
and that DC will be 10. Now charm.
What's the DC of charm?
Charm means, and the DC, and I'll say that we'll do something different for Kallie a little bit, since you already rolled really well earlier today. But with charm is always for her an opposed, in terms of like whenever you met her and whenever you had an interaction with them. And usually it's going to be a grit roll and then a charm, or a charm and then a grit roll, depending on how you respond. So if you decide to roll charm, just to even get the chance to have some sort of interaction that's positive, you're going to have to roll, you're going to have to get a 15. Then after you get the 15, you will then roll a grit to see what that interaction actually looked like in terms of how she reacted to you. And then that'll tell you what type of relationship you might have with her.
And what would that grit DC be?
I think it'll depend on what you do.
Mm.
Yeah. So who's doing brawn or grit?
I'm definitely gonna do brawn.
Okay, Cesar's doing brawn.
I mean, did we kind of already establish what?
You're not going to do one right now.
I didn't think
We'll
so.
have you do. Actually, we won't have you roll right now because you just rolled. But for Cesar, you're doing brawn. Liv and Raymond.
Would my enhanced and or supernatural charisma criminal mastery be applicable here? I so desperately want her to be Liv's friend.
Would it be applicable here? I don't know. Actually,
I mean, if they are friends, it had to have happened when crime was taking place, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Okay.
Well,
I'll allow it.
How about killing instinct?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, what do you do? I mean, you can, yeah.
It was a good fight.
Okay. All right. So, geez Louise. All right. Let's start with Cesar. Let's see what type of history Cesar has with Aspira. So for your killing instinct, but you're gonna roll brawn, not fight, right? You're gonna roll brawn.
Yeah, brawn.
Okay. So then add a +2 to your brawn if you get a 3 or higher on your D4.
All
Roll
right,
your D4 first.
Where did my D4 go? Come here. Come on. Stay on the serve. 3.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No.
3 on the D4.
Okay. Then you get a +2 to your roll.
Okay. Now I did roll the D20 already, and it also was a 3. So out of my D20, which sucks, and I only got a handful of. I can pump it up by 3 adversity tokens and make it an 8 if I want to.
That's not really gonna help.
No.
However, because you did use actually, killing instinct is a horror instinct. So okay. So you got a 6.
3 on the dice, and then 3 on the D4.
So 6. Or they're no plus them.
No, that's fine.
+2. So
Yeah,
5. Okay.
Which
Okay.
sucks.
Wow, that's well under.
I know, right?
Okay, we'll come back to you with that.
We're not on good.
You're certainly on something. Okay, so Cesar had a 5. Okay. Let's move on to Liv.
Okay, so D4 first. That's a 4. The dice agree with me. She's my best friend.
That's not exactly what that means, but okay.
That's definitely the dice know. They're like, oh, I understand.
So what are you doing? You're doing enhanced charisma.
Enhanced charisma, and my D12 just exploded.
Okay. So you're adding a D2. I mean, you're adding a 2.
To the 12 plus 4.
Oh.
That's so many.
Which 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18.
Wow.
Actually
Lifted it.
I think this happened last time with her.
Okay.
This world just wants you to be friends.
You know what? I agree. My dice did it. Do I have to roll a grit now too?
We're gonna come back to you in a second.
Okay.
Let me get Raymond's charm or whatever you're rolling, Raymond.
I'm gonna roll brawn because honestly, I'm sure that's how he met her.
Okay.
8.
Ooh, okay. And
I think he probably met her in a terrible fight and has been trying to be her friend ever since.
And I did say I was going to do something special with Kallie. I can't 100%. Do you remember what your charm roll was? Because it was against hers, and hers was like a 3. It was really high. It was like well over 5.
I think I just got like a 6 though, but I exploded. Yeah.
So it's been about let's say it's been like a couple of minutes, it's been like 20 minutes since you guys have been standing here since she left. And you did have that chill in your bones. Let's see if that was a good thing for you. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a grit again. And she's not in the room, but I'll roll anyway. And it's going to be opposed by her. I think it's a +2. Oh, well, it's also 4. Okay. You need to beat a 4.
Well, I exploded on my D20, so I got a 25.
What?
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Okay. All right. Let's start with Cesar and Raymond. I'm going to say the day you met Asphira, you actually together. I'm going to say you guys were like out on a job, right? Raymond and Cesar, the duo, probably a hard job where you probably needed to rough up some people, get some answers. And we'll probably say it was supposed to be against or probably in the territory of like Volkov, probably, because he's always doing stuff that's annoying, which is up north. So essentially, there should have been no reason y'all would have interacted with the Sphera, and that was obviously not the intention. But Randolph, he's a little tricky one. So I'll say that something went down in his territory where you guys were perhaps tricked into either destroying an item or like a crate or something, or doing something in his territory as like kind of like retaliation. But it turned out to be Asphira's property. And let's say that she's not a particularly forgiving person. And she's very old school. So I'll say you guys got like a goat's head, mailed to you type of situation after that. And that was just her saying, I see you, but like not in a great way. And since then, you guys have actually never had any other contact.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, don't mess with creepy.
So that is what Cesar and Raymond's background is with Asphira. Liv, 18, very good. I'm going to say so Asphira has a private club that's in like an old rail station, and it's called the Old Rail. It's on the map in her territory. And it's a bit of a dark nightclub, has a very specific aesthetic, very specific types of people go there, and it's kind of usually invite only. I'll say at some point, because you know everybody, you were invited by someone and you had a great time. Good time. I mean, a lot of it was interesting, but you learn some new things about yourself, but it was a good time.
We live for the novel experiences.
Exactly. It was quite an experience, and you were like, okay, interesting. And you have not ever been invited back. However, in your time being in that space, I'll say that you did have some sort of interaction with her. she didn't ever speak to you, but you spoke to her a lot. Like, and so in your head, you guys were like full on chatting.
Yes,
even
accurate.
even though she didn't say a word. And you remember that, yes, she has a bit of a cold that like rolls off of her naturally. And you also remember that she kind of sits on like a bit of a throne type of situation. It's kind of cool. The whole place had a very good, interesting vibe. And you also remember that only in that space does she take her veil off. And so you do know what she looks like. So you do know what she looks like. You don't remember anything that Kallie said about like chrome eyes. You're pretty sure she had like hazel eyes, and she has like she's a brown skinned woman, so she had like regular like skin. She was just like always cold, and she didn't really talk to anyone. But she was the type of woman that just like sat in her area, allowed people to be around her because she was comfortable there. And she would like, drink her wine or drink her spirits, and you two would quote unquote chat. So I'll say that's your experience with Isfera. So perhaps you would truly believe that you have some sort of good connection with her. And then we come to Kallie. I'm going to say the cold, the chill that was kind of eating into your bones is gone now, but you feel like there is some sort of like ethereal spiritual connection to Isfera now. In what way? You have no idea.
Kallie, you totally get it, babe. We're on the same page now.
BFFs.
Yeah. And I'll say, though, that was your first and only interaction with Isfera. Mm-hmm. And you just know you two are just like connected in some way. It was a powerful moment for both of you.
Clearly.
Yeah. And that's you guys' history with Isfera that we just had happen, which I love. So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and see what you guys do with all of this information. All right. So first things first, before you guys send off your letter to Isfera, and you are all heading up to Raymond's penthouse. Let me have Cesar roll for Shamas.
Yes. All right. Is this just D4 or what number die would this be?
I actually want you to roll. What is his? Because your exact words were to take care of Bobby.
Oh, correct. Wait a second. How literal is my sidekick?
Those were your words. So let's see.
Find out he's booked him for a massage or something.
I swear, if I see this guy, things are about to get real interesting.
You're gonna roll. Oh, it should be okay. It's actually gonna be me rolling and you rolling. So you're gonna roll and I'm gonna roll, but I want you to roll brains. And I'm gonna roll brains as well. Actually, it's just gonna be brains versus brains. You and Seamus, head to head.
Alrighty. Well, this.
Oh, he had a 2.
I have a 2 too. Wait, I could adversify this. I'm gonna spend one of my adversity points to at least be smarter than my.
Okay, perfect. All right, we have you guys up in the penthouse now.
Were we able to move the bug with us pretty easily?
Just stick a book underneath the.
Yeah. I'll say that it's basically like a firefly or like a little beetle. So, you're not sure what type of lifespan it has, but it doesn't seem to be trying to do anything. It just is just like sitting in the glass. So if you just keep something on top of it, it'll be fine.
Okay.
You guys are now up in the penthouse discussing your next moves, and your first next move needs to be what you're going to actually write to Isfera, who's going to write it, who's going to send it, etc., etc. But I will say at this point, it's probably like midnight, like probably 1 a.m. in the morning type of situation. So you'll want to do this pretty quickly if you're going to get some sleep.
I mean, I could write it, but I think Liv should take it.
Yeah, it's not going to be either you or I.
Oh, sure. I don't mind stopping by her place.
Liv, Liv
You write it, then Liv. I mean,
and Kallie. Yeah, maybe Liv and Kallie should take it.
Sure.
No offense, Liv. You do just tend to get a little distracted on missions sometimes.
Well, I mean, it's not my fault that people like to talk to me, and sometimes
No.
they're more interesting than other things I've been told to do.
Oh, I understand 100%. Saphira is the most interesting person in all of Chicago. But we do kind of need some information about this bug and if she's ever heard of these wise men before.
Right. So I'm gonna sit at like Raymond's writing desk and take some of his paper and a pen. Be like, okay, so we start off. Dear Sphera, I've missed you so much. I had such a good time at your club. I was hoping my friend Kallie and I could come over. We found an interesting thing I think you'd like to take a look at. And, with everything going on right now, I just think it'd be great to catch up. Love, Liv. And she signs she puts a little heart as the dot for the eye. That seems good, right?
Okay. And everyone sounds good with that? Anything else you want to add? Any signatures you want to add? Anyone else you want to mention? So you're doing two things here. You're writing the letter.
Mm-hmm.
You're specifically stating that you and Kallie want to come and visit in person.
Yes.
And then you are personally delivering it, or is someone else delivering it?
Well, the mail can deliver it, but I think
Maybe we could send a runner.
Yeah, we can always send one of our guys to deliver it.
Okay.
it is bedtime.
Well,
after all.
it would be
Well,
a little
she can-
presumptuous to just show
Walk
up at her
in.
door asking for an invitation in. That's kind of rude.
Okay. So you want to employ one of your runners.
And hope they make it back alive.
Okay. So then they probably wouldn't. Are you wanting them to do it right now or early in the morning?
I mean, I would recommend not bothering her now.
That's probably best.
You don't just go knocking idly on her door.
That's fair, but this does seem to be a bit of a time thing. At least if we get the letter delivered to her place, she can read it in the morning.
I mean, does she have a goon we can give it to who'll give it to her? Then it's their problem.
She can read the note with her morning coffee if she drinks that. If she drinks anything.
If she has a stomach.
Or a mouth.
Oh!
She definitely has a mouth.
Liv, how do you know that she has a mouth? How do you know?
Because
she wears that veil all the time. Maybe there's no mouth under there.
She doesn't wear the veil all the time. I've seen her face. It's a perfectly lovely face. I don't know what you're talking about, Kallie.
Are you sure?
Utter silence.
Yeah, Callie's just looking at just incredulously this is not a person we're talking about. This is the thing.
Okay, sounds like a plan. You're gonna have a runner send it as soon as one is available, and then because the only people who are really 24/7 are your guys's right hands, right? But your employees, you can send for one, and they'll come when one is available and take it over.
Yes.
Well, we're definitely not sending Lawrence.
No.
What are you talking about?
I'd grab Seamus, but she might know he comes from me, and that might not be a good idea.
Yeah. You could send Callie's or Liv away, and Lawrence is probably dead sleep, but you can
the last thing we need is Lawrence eating all of Alphabet's or not Alphabet. I keep doing that. Esphira's pantry.
I mean, is Eric appeared again after getting patched up, or does he?
Okay? Yeah. I'll say you guys got kind of patched up together.
Okay. We can send my cousin Eric.
You want to send your cousin to a Sphera?
We are connected now, and he looks like me, so maybe the blonde hair and good looks will get us somewhere.
That's cool.
You would be surprised where blonde hair and good looks can get you.
Okay. All right. Well, since you're using Eric, he will, as soon as he hears your name, appear out of thin air, literally nowhere, and he's right next to you, ready for the letter.
Liv, any instructions for Eric?
Oh, sure. Liv just takes like a little thing of perfume out of like her purse, and, like spritz the letter once. Give this to I guess Asphira's right hand person, and tell them to give it to Asphira at her earliest convenience, but not when it's like weird.
Like, not when it's weird, you guys.
Let's not make it weird.
Don't make it weird.
Kallie, are you signing off on those instructions?
Yeah, Kallie will repeat them in Swedish.
Okay. Eric nods, and he's out the door with your letter.
He knows. Yep. He knows how to not make it weird, right?
We will find out.
You could have just said, "Deliver this in the morning when she's getting coffee."
Things that are not weird
did
in
not
Sweden.
Say that, actually,
I sure didn't say that.
You did not say that. You thought it. Those are not the instructions given.
You should have said that. That would have been much better.
Well, that input would have been helpful about 30 seconds ago, Cesar.
Yeah, Cesar, you were in the room.
Look,
hearing
some
the
of
instructions.
us are tired. Okay, it's been a long day. Like
some
2
of us
o'clock by
just
now.
like to hear you guys talk sometimes.
I think my instructions were perfectly clear. I don't know what the confusion is.
Well, it's certainly
Well, totally clear. Yeah, I think it's bedtime.
Hey, you want me to walk you home, Raymond?
He is home.
I am home. you need to walk yourself home there, buddy.
Do you need me to walk you home?
Or
look, I don't want any of that right now, Liv. Okay.
Maybe you're the one going crazy. You didn't see the rat men at all. Maybe you have something wrong with your seeing.
I was busy doing my job. Okay.
I was gonna like link arms with Cesar and kind of like pat his hand and be like, "It's okay. Come on, we'll get you home nice and safe, honey. You can go to bed and sleep it off."
Perfect. Okay. Everyone goes their separate ways. Raymond goes to sleep. Cesar and Liv, you guys make it back to your place. Kallie, I'm assuming you're also going back.
Yep.
Okay. Everyone goes to their respective spaces. And
can I snoop before going to bed?
Can you snoop?
Yep, because the wise men disappeared into this hotel somewhere.
Oh, okay. We'll say everyone else goes to their respective places and goes to bed. And then we'll come back to Raymond. What are you wanting to do before you go to bed?
Who? Which one? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna try to go downstairs to the kitchen because it's a hotel, so they have room service. So there's probably like at least one overnight guy. And I'm just gonna try and talk to the staff since I live here all the time and try and get the lowdown scoop about where these wise men are staying.
Okay. I will say normally there is a front, like a front desk person who you are very, very familiar with. Today is a different person. I've never seen this person before.
Man.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, no kidding.
But he seems, normal, just someone different. And so as you come up to the little desk, he goes, hello, sir, Mr. King, how can I help you?
Oh, hello, does he have a little name tag?
He doesn't, but when you say that, he goes, God damn it, I gotta give the person a name. Sandy. Yep.
Sandy. Yep. Well, hello there, Sandy. Where's Harry tonight?
Oh, he's taking the night off, sir. Yeah. Daughter's getting married next weekend or something like that.
Oh, that's odd.
You can make a check to see if that makes sense or if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'd like to check on that. Is that a brains roll, maybe? Or
I'm actually gonna say it's a charm because you're getting that information from talking to him at some point. Harry. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Let's see how much you actually know about Harry's whole life. So we'll see for something like that. We'll say the DC is like 5 because you should know that. Everyone should know that probably.
I got a 17.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You last time you talked to him, you did remember he was very happy and gushing that his daughter was about to get married. You don't know the exact date, but he's been kind of telling literally everybody.
Ah, that's right. I knew that was coming up. Ah, well, congratulations to him, I say. Say there, Harry. I mean, wow, Sandy. Pan is not good at names, so, all right, Sandy, it's nice to meet you. I was wondering, do you happen to see these 3 guys walking around in robes or something?
Are you referring to the wise men, sir?
Yeah, them guys. They were out here earlier. I wanted to speak with one of them, but they left real fast.
Mhm.
You wouldn't happen to know if they're staying here?
I'm afraid I don't have that information, sir.
You don't have that information at all? I'm gonna slide a 20 across the table.
A 20?
I mean, in Chicago money,
That's a
in
lot.
1920 money, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. Okay. Wow.
I want to go to bed. I need this information.
Roll a charm.
Okay.
DC is gonna be, a 20 is a lot of money. But I just made this person up. Let's see how dedicated he is to keeping his mouth shut. Let's say DC is gonna be 10. Let's say he's pretty dedicated.
Okay. Oh, I got a 9.
Very close.
But if I spend an adversity token, that brings it to a 10, right?
It does.
All right, I'll spend
Okay.
my 1 of 2. Back down to 1.
He looks down at the 20 and takes it quietly, and he goes, oh, I see. I remember now. So right, the wise men, the 3 guys in the robes, right? I forgot. Okay, yeah, they are not staying here. They have their own accommodations.
Good to know. I will sleep better tonight for sure.
Of course. Need anything else, Mr. King? You let me know.
Yeah, thank you, son. I will take a nice piece of provolone cheese if you have it.
He kind of looks at you like, what? He kind of looks around at the desk, and Harry does indeed have a little stash of cheese that has your name on it, and which he didn't really notice before, and he just goes, of course. He takes a slice and starts to hand it to you, confused.
And I will take it and just put it to my shoulder where my beautiful Doris will come up and nibble on it as I wave goodbye and go upstairs to bed.
Yeah, he's just kind of staring at you, and the rat kind of like, what happened?
What was that? What an odd man.
Mm-hmm. And you go up to bed, and you all sleep soundly. The blizzard is beginning to calm down. It's a bright, beautiful morning the next day, and you all would feel very calm, and it seems like it's really quiet outside if you weren't being woken up in such a strange way. Because who wrote it? Liv, as you wake up in your luxurious bed, there is a what you could only describe as, you think, a man. They
Go on.
You don't say.
They're not necessarily, well, they are naked. So let's paint the picture here. So you wake up, and at the foot of your bed, standing there, is some sort of man, you think, because it doesn't necessarily have a full form. It's kind of human-like. So it's flesh-colored, but like a pasty flesh color. And it is naked, but there are no genitalia. And it also doesn't have a face or nose or mouth. And it's just kind of standing there silently and quietly. You would assume watching you, but it doesn't have any eyes. So that's what you wake up to. Raymond, you wake up to nothing out of the ordinary except for, what is her name? Betty
Betty Boop.
Except you see Betty, she is kind of where like one of your windows are in your bedroom. And you can kind of see her on the outside of the window, as she usually is in the morning. And she's kind of like just hanging there looking in at you, which isn't abnormal, you would, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's actually not that abnormal. What is abnormal, though, is that she is like desperately trying to like break the window to get in, because there is something kind of like sitting on your bed, and it is 100% a rat, but it is much, much bigger than any rat you've ever seen.
People rat.
That's what you wake up to. Cesar, you wake up to someone walking into your bedroom. They are kind of like holding like your journal maybe for the day, or like a coffee, whatever your normal routine is. Someone is bringing that to you. And it turns out that it is Bobby. He is wearing sort of like a butler's outfit, and he sets down your coffee. That's what you wake up to. And then we get to Kallie. Kallie, you wake up in a place that is not your own bed. You are kind of surrounded by snow and ice, and your bones are back to freezing again, and so are your extremities and your limbs. In fact, you can feel the frostbite starting to set in throughout your fingers and your toes. And you're in like this weird liminal space where Asphira is standing right in front of you. So let's go back to Liv. What is your reaction to that interesting morning wake up?
Remind me again, is he sitting, where is he?
He's standing at the foot of your bed.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Liv would just kind of lay there for a second, doing some really slow blinking, and then be like, "Oh, good morning. I wasn't expecting a visitor this morning."
This person, you think, doesn't say anything. He just lifts up a long arm, and in it is a letter.
Oh, I will take the letter. Like, did nobody tell you not to make it weird?
You take the letter, and this thing, you think, actually doesn't like walk out of your room. It just seems to like, it looks like it's just getting lower until you can't see it up like where your bed mattress is, until it disappears out of sight. And you kind of hope it hasn't crawled under your bed.
Yeah, no, Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence has heard you and is coming with your morning tea. As you are dealing with that, Raymond, you have woken up in your strange predicament. And what's your reaction?
He's sitting on my bed?
Oh, yeah. Fully sitting on your bed. Like a dog. His tail is wagging.
His tail is wagging?
Like a dog.
That's upsetting. I'm gonna take the very heavy metal clock on my bedside table and throw it at the window that Betty's trying to get into.
Okay. It's gonna be you against a window. I mean, you're up in the penthouse, so this should be like a double paned window. Most likely, and she knows how to get in here, but most likely there's something wrong with the way she has gotten in that way. So you can try. That should be like a double paned, but it is the 30s, so maybe it's not. So that's gonna be a fight. Because you're
great. I'm so good at that, guys. All right, here we go. Rolling a D4.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 10 just for like a window.
2. It's a 2.
Yeah. You pick up the heavy clock, you hurl it at the window, and before it even hits the window, the rat creature jumps off and catches it midair, and brings it back to you.
Aww.
Good boy. What a good boy. Now you sit, stay, and I'm gonna try to ease over to the window and open it up for Betty.
Love it. You're doing that. You wake up to your interesting predicament.
This is the guy. I tortured this man last night.
Is he fine?
Set up, grab one of my large buck knives off the table. Morning.
He opens his mouth, but you see that his tongue has been cut out.
It's one of these situations. Well, it looks like you've had a really bad run of luck now, haven't you?
He kind of just slowly nods. He has clearly he has a bit of eyes that are tired, and he's had a long day.
What did you say he was holding again?
Whatever you drink in the morning to your coffee.
They're poison in that.
Do you want to check?
I'll motion for him to take a sip of it.
Oh, yeah. If you ask him to do that or tell him to do that, he does it.
Yeah. I'll wait a minute to see if anything happens before taking it and drinking it.
Nothing happens. He kind of sets it down, does that, and then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. And then he's gonna leave out the room.
I need to have a talk with Seamus.
And while that's happening, Kallie, you this liminal space is obviously not your bedroom, but it's also not like Chicago. You're not sure if it's a dream or if it's not a dream. It certainly doesn't feel like a dream. You feel like you're dying from hypothermia. But standing in front of you is Asphira, the way that you saw her at the lobby. So she's kind of standing there completely still, and you can see her chrome metallic eyes staring at you underneath the veil. But she says nothing.
Callie's teeth are kind of chattering and looks back at her. Hello?
Your voice kind of echoes in this weird chamber of ice and snow, but she says nothing.
Kallie will walk towards her.
You get up because I'll say you're kind of standing, sitting maybe, but as you walk, every step is a sharp pain, and you're getting colder and colder. But you are able to get closer to her, so you're about arm's reach now.
Kind of wave awkwardly, the hand in front of her face.
Okay. You wave your hand, and as you wave your hand, her hand juts out to grab it, and I'll say it's the hand that was bitten, and her fingers are very long and spindly and kind of blackish gray as they are curled around your hand, and she kind of slowly pulls it towards her. And for a moment when that's happening, you feel a little bit of warmth. It's definitely the hypothermia fully setting in. So it's not real warmth. It's that fake warmth. But it kind of tricks you for a moment. And you're like, oh, okay. It kind of gives you a good feeling, essentially, as she kind of pulls you closer. And so go ahead and roll. So I'll give you the choice. In this moment, you can choose to roll something that will get your hand away, or you can choose to try and communicate.
Does it seem hostile the way she grabbed?
I'm going to say you can't really tell.
Okay.
Because her mannerism is so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No affect, basically.
Yep.
I don't know. Kallie, knows there's this connection, so I think she would, allow it. Not try to get away necessarily at first.
Okay. She pulls your hand in and you allow her. And with kind of a swift motion, her other hand pulls her veil over her head. And you see that she has a very beautiful face. She has kind of long black and gray dreads that go all the way down to her back, and her silver kind of chrome eyes. As soon as the veil goes up, they actually turn more to a hazel brown. And you've never seen this woman before, but you now know that this is what Asphira looks like, at least when she, is looking this way without her veil. And she kind of gives you a little tiny smile, because her face is pretty still flat, but she gives you a kind of thank you for trusting in me type of thing. And that does continue to warm you up a little bit. And then she grabs the rest of your wrist and brings it closer to her, and proceeds to bite it harshly.
Bite?
Yep, she bites.
Okay.
Which does hurt quite a bit, but it also feels like your arms are being ripped off, but also it's made of ice because it's freezing cold. So there's a lot happening. But unfortunately, this kind of wakes you up of whatever this weird dream state was. and you're back in your bed.
All right. Yep.
And then that happened. So back to Liv. You have a letter in your hand.
I would like to open it and have Lawrence look under the bed.
Yes, Lawrence is shuffling in. He's got your morning tea and your breakfast and your paper and your slippers, whatever you usually need him to have for you ready.
Did he eat my morning pastry?
Sure. Yes.
Lawrence.
He kind of sets it down. And he does. He'll get and look under the bed for you while you read your letter. It is a letter straight from a spirit herself. And it is written actually with like runes that you're not familiar with, but as you read them, they translate themselves somehow. And it simply gives you a day and a time, which is like that day at like, let's say 10 p.m.
Oh, goody. I will have to pick out something appropriate to wear.
And then back to Raymond. You have a new pet.
Is it like a full rat or is it like a person rat?
I will say now that you have a little bit more time to look at it, it's kind of in between. You're not 100% sure what you're looking at. It's definitely, to you, looks like a giant rat, not necessarily a rat person, because it's not standing up like a person. It's like sitting, but on all fours, but it's moving more like a dog. But it definitely has like humanoid features.
Can it stand up? Can I get it to stand up?
How would you like to do that?
Well, I think I have some cheese in the fridge.
Okay.
And I'll like have Doris do that trick because I'm sure I've taught Doris how to stand up. Up. And then I'll offer the cheese to it if it stands up. Like, here, see trick, here, do trick.
I see. So you have Doris come out, and Doris does the trick, and then you give Doris a piece of cheese, and then you try to convince this creature to do the same.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what that would be. What do you roll to train a rat person? Let's actually do grit, because this isn't just a rat thing. This is clearly a rat thing from the sewers, so it's filthy, and it's also not cute. It's kind of cute. It's kind of terrifying, but it also seems to have a look in its eye and be treating you like it knows you. So I think you're a little confused about what this thing even is and what it's doing here, and also how it got in here. So roll grit, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be kind of a DC. I'll say a DC 6 to try and just like deal with whatever this is.
Okay, so I have to roll a 5 on the D6. Let's go. Nope, it's 2. So that's 3.
Okay. So I think your immediate kind of like reaction to this creature is that it's a creature from the sewers, regardless of what it is, obviously. And somehow it like followed you here, maybe. You don't know. But even if you were to try and like do something with it, you can kind of tell based on how it's moving and looking at you. And then when you try to show it the trick with Doris, it's not looking at the cheese, it's looking at Doris.
No, my baby.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I'm gonna try to lock it in the bathroom.
Okay. How are you gonna try and do that?
I don't know. Did I get to let Betty in the window?
Yeah, I'll say you did that.
Okay, I'm just gonna have Betty shoo it into the bedroom, into the bathroom.
Okay. I'll say when you open up the window and Betty comes in, she's obviously ready to rumble. And so I think she's just going to try and like tackle this guy, like to the ground and then put it, she's probably just going to try and just throw it out the window. She's not going to try to put it in the bathroom. So let's see how she does. Go ahead and roll brawn. DC is going to be 5.
My brawn?
Yeah.
Okay. It is a 3.
Okay. So she's able to like get him down or tackle him essentially, but you can kind of tell that he doesn't like this creature doesn't really know what's exactly going on either. So they're not like fighting or anything. So they just kind of let them get tackled, and they're just still there. So while she is dealing with that, trying to like move this creature somewhere, it's at this point when you get you get a knock at the door at your door.
Oh, good. I'll go open the door.
It is someone that you know, but they're not particularly important, but they are like one of the people in your crew, right? And so, but they are also covered in like sewer water, and they have a letter for you.
Okay. Hello. What is going on? Kid, what, where have you been, and why are you covered in sewer water, and why is there a rat in my apartment?
He goes, what? I don't know. I was just told to give this to you by Gerald.
Gerald. Okay, good. Hey, kid, you go and get Cesar, and you know who Cesar is, right, kid?
Yeah.
Okay, you go to Cesar's house and bring Cesar here, like now.
Okay, boss. Okay. And he runs off.
And I'm gonna read the letter from Gerald.
It's pretty sweet and short. He just says, hey, King, got you a present.
What the fuck?
Gerald.
What the hell, that asshole? But also, how in the hell did he do this?
And while you're reading that, the kid is running to Cesar's place. Cesar, I'm assuming you have begun your morning routine, and at some point Seamus comes to say good morning to you.
Morning, Seamus.
Morning, boss.
Step into my office for a minute.
Yeah, sure. Steps into your office.
So, why'd you bring Bobby here?
Well, he kind of just goes wherever,
No, I don't know. Wherever what?
Well, I made sure he couldn't talk anymore, so he couldn't tell anybody about anything. And then we talked about, getting a contract written up. So he's going to work for us for 20 years. And I haven't really gotten like a task list for him. So I just figured he could like get you coffee today or something.
All right. And what were his thoughts on this?
Oh, was I supposed to ask him?
No. Honestly, you've done far more than I expected.
Oh, thanks, boss.
You're welcome. Get him work out of sight, out of mind, okay? I don't really want people wandering in here and seeing him, alright?
Okay, no problem. Gotcha.
Hey, if he looks like he's unhappy, tie a sack of rocks around his feet and drop him in the lake.
No problem, boss. He takes out his
Caesar.
He takes out his piece of paper and writes it. Drop him in the lake. Rocks.
If he looks like he's trying to get out of here, do the same thing.
He makes another note. No problem, boss.
Thank you, Seamus. I will probably be heading over to the office today. Any reports here that I need to be aware of?
Not that I know of. And in between his talk, his thoughts, you get a bang at the door.
You want to open that?
Oh, yeah. And he goes to the door, opens it. Filthy kid, covered in sewer, water, standing there, out of breath. He just goes, Mr. King needs you. I told you to
breathe, kid. You're not gonna die here, all right? What's going on?
Seamus kind of looks at him and then looks at you. I think he kind of looks at the kid. You came from the sewers. You had a letter from someone. You delivered it to Mr. King. Mr. King told you to get Cesar. And the kid's like, yeah.
Thank you, Seamus. Thank you. You can be off. I'll go see him in a minute.
Cool. Thanks, sir. And he waddles off.
You want to get me a car? I'll be out down in a couple minutes.
Sure, boss. He goes down.
and I'll get dressed to go out and see what dear old boss needs from me.
All right. Cesar, you are making your way to Raymond's, and then we are once again back at Kallie. How is your morning going after an interesting nightmare, you think?
I think she's wrapped herself in like a lot of like blankets and is just kind of sitting there, has made coffee, and just like whether she's cold now or not, like is still feeling the cold from the dream and trying to piece it together.
As you're kind of thinking about it and just sitting there, Eric returns and he has a letter for you.
Kallie will take it and thank him. Offer her some coffee too.
Perfect. He grabs a coffee as he gives you the letter, but before he lets the letter go, as you're grabbing it, he kind of like stops for a second and looks down at your arm, which you find has completely healed. But he doesn't comment on it. He just gives you the letter. And it's the same letter Liv has, which you don't know she has yet, but it is from Asphira, and it says that you are able to come by 10 p.m. today.
Okay.
You guys have gone through another day. It's been a strange day, but I'll say that you guys kind of get yourselves together throughout the morning, and you can either, like, I'm assuming as Cesar goes to see Raymond and Liv and Kallie get up for the rest of the day. It's, morning, but not early. You guys can make a decision on what type of stuff you want to do for the day, if you have anything in particular. You can also go into the office, or you can just kind of meet up together.
First, I'm showing Cesar this red. Look at it with your eyeballs. Look at it and tell me that's not a real thing right there, staring at me with his own eyeballs. Huh?
Kallie and Liv, where are you guys going? Are you going over to Raymond's, or are you going to the office?
I mean, I don't think we were also summoned to Raymond's, right? I would probably end up at the office then.
Okay, Liv, where are you going?
Liv would, after a very long and luxurious bath, of course, make her way into the office and demand that Kallie either show her the outfit that she has for tonight, or they have to go shopping and get new ones.
Of course. Okay. You two, I'll say you guys get to the office by the time Cesar gets to Raymond's. And at the office, what did I name? Why can't I remember people? But your receptionist is already there, and she's made coffee for you guys. And she said that you guys don't have much on the books. You just have like one meeting today. But that's pretty much it. But you do have a couple of people who wanted to take some tours now that the blizzard has come up. Really, what am I trying to think of? Now that the blizzard has lifted, my gosh. And so she wanted to talk to you guys about that. And so you all are talking with the receptionist about possible tours and dates and times and when they'd be able to come and who'd be able to take them, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, Raymond is yelling at Cesar to stare at this creature that has been locked in the bathroom, who is fairly docile. Like, it looks hideous, but it's kind of half of the size of a human, so it's too big to be a rat, clearly, but maybe it could be a large ugly dog.
Is it more rat-like or more human-like?
I'll say it's definitely more rat-like, but it moves unsettlingly like a dog-human thing. Like, it doesn't have like the bent knees of like an actual dog. So when it's on its floor, like when it's sitting down, its butt is touching the ground and its knees are bent like a human's. So it's a really odd looking creature, and you wouldn't really be able to identify it as anything. But let's see if Cesar thinks this is some sort of supernatural.
Please let me roll a brains roll.
Yes. And I'm gonna say DC for this. I mean, Raymond is kind of screaming at you. Betty also has been there. Like, maybe you might be a little bit more attuned to thinking it's something weird. But I will say that before you roll that, I want you to roll a grit, and your DC is going to be 7.
This is like the first time I just want to roll real low, just for the bit. I just want to roll so low right now. There's. All right, grits. Oh, that's a 9.
Okay. You see this creature, and I think maybe because, I don't know, this for some reason isn't even that creepy or scary of a thing. And it also, to you, because you're usually so much bigger than everyone, it doesn't even really look that big. Like, okay, it's an abnormally large something, but it's also super docile, it seems. It's literally just sitting in the bathroom. It's like sitting in the tub, just like looking at y'all, like waiting for, it looks like it's some sort of instruction. I mean, you're not as like worked up by seeing this creature. And you also are kind of like, I mean, I don't know, could be, couldn't be. Yeah. So that's what I'll say about that. So then go ahead and roll your brains. And because you passed your grit, your brains roll is going to be a DC 5.
Okay, please roll a 1. 4! It explodes!
Nice.
2, 6. Okay.
You were 1 over. This is, you clearly can see that this is a sewer rat. It looks like it's, covered with sewer, stuff. Can you clearly see that it's human too? Not really. To you, I think it just looks like a giant rat, like way bigger than anything you've ever seen. Like, this thing needs to be going on tour. And I mean, Raymond likes rats, and rats seem to like him, so it kind of makes sense it would follow him home. You're not really sure what the big deal is.
Petting zoo time. Raymond, where'd you get this ugly thing?
Apparently, it's a gift from Gerald.
From Gerald. Was that like your accountant or something?
No, the left hand, the leader of the left hand.
Oh, wait, why is... I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Is it like... That's not a dog. I've seen dogs. That's not a dog.
It's not a dog. It's a human rat thing.
It's a big rat. Yeah.
It's more than a big rat.
That's a real big rat. Where do you find this thing?
I did not find it. I woke up and it was here.
Jill needs to learn some boundaries.
No kidding.
So what, you want me to take it out back and like dump it in the ocean or something?
I don't know. You said it looks like it's waiting for instructions?
Yeah, it's essentially kind of acting like a dog.
I wonder how smart it is. Take a bath. No?
It just looks at you.
Hey, fetch. And I'll grab like a candle off of like a nightstand or something and just chuck it on the other side of the room.
You chuck it on the other side of the room and it clatters and it kind of looks at it and it looks back at both of you. And it kind of gives like a big yawn, like it, it's kind of getting, a little tired. And you can see it has like razor sharp, jagged teeth. And then it kind of lays down in the tub.
Okay.
Look, I'm not gonna lie here. This is really strange, and I've seen some really scuffed things out there. And, this is a weird one.
Weird, right? This is like the things that Chase lived down in the sewer the other day. It's what bit Kallie. I mean, not this one. Those other ones got eaten by normal rats. But why is this one like fine and the other ones are like, I'm gonna eat anything that comes in the sewer?
I mean, your rat's and I'll motion to your rat on your shoulder. That yours is like house trained, right?
Yes, Doris is a princess.
So
she is a very refined rat.
Is this one like a big sister princess?
I don't know. I don't know what to do here, Cesar.
Do you have like a kennel or something we can pick up? I mean, what do they
Maybe?
eat? I mean, rats eat a lot.
I would assume meat
you're
of
gonna
some
have to
kind.
like put that in the budget.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I guess maybe let's smuggle it to the office and get one of the kids to give it a bath and a steak.
I mean, we'll have to do some experiments here, but I mean, maybe we can monetize this thing or something. I mean, there's another. We've got a lot of methods for disposal, but we've never tried, like the pigs or something like that. Maybe it's like that.
Maybe. Well, oh yeah, you mean just like have it as a disposal service?
Yeah.
I mean, not a bad idea, if I'm honest. But, I don't want it in my apartment anymore.
We're in a penthouse, right?
Yeah.
How did they even get it upstairs without anybody seeing this thing? I mean,
I
Well,
don't know.
did you check with the staff to make sure no one saw this?
That's a good idea. We should probably do that. I was more concerned with the giant rat in my apartment.
Look, you're concerned. That's very fair, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything right now. And if there's one rat, there's bound to be more. So, might be a good idea to figure out what's going on there.
All right, let's go talk to Sandy.
how do you?
Lock the door behind you or something?
I was gonna say, if you're trying to sneak it out or take it out, how are you wanting to try and do that as you go and talk to Sandy and then go to the office?
I mean, if we're trying to get to sneak it out, I'd probably have like the car come around or something and just like go down like the back service stairway of the hotel.
Okay.
And if we run into anybody, just throw money at the face.
Look, you want to make? Are we taking this thing with us? Because if we are, I can go and make sure there's a hall to clear or something like that.
Yeah.
I could also just have some of the guys bring a crate around and
Yeah,
pick it up
have
like
the
that.
boys bring a crate around. I'd like to bring it back to headquarters. Just don't want it here.
Okay.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we can sick it on Miss Russo or something like that.
I love this plan.
Sounds like a plan. Okay. Cesar, you have the couple of people come around with a crate, and you're going to focus on taking it down and getting it in the crate so that you guys can take it to the office. And Raymond, you go to Sandy to see if anyone saw who brought this in.
Yeah.
Okay. Sandy is still there. It's still fairly morning, but they are about to switch shifts. But they see you coming. Hello, Mr. King. Good morning.
Hey, Sandy. Good to see ya. Oh wait, you just said they swift shift.
He's about to, but he's still there.
Oh, he's still there. Okay. Hello, Sandy. Just a brief question. You wouldn't have happened to see anybody bring anything crazy upstairs to my apartment, would you?
Anything crazy, sir?
Yeah, crazy. Like absolutely bonkers.
No, you did get a delivery early this morning, but it all checked out.
What was the delivery exactly?
He opens up his little chart. It was just a crate from Gerald.
A crate
On the
from
left hand?
Gerald.
Yeah, it's
The crate.
approved people.
Crate. Did anybody open the crate?
Oh no! He insisted that he take it up yourself. I'm so sorry. I didn't know if you wanted me to send someone up. I mean, he's on your list of approved people.
Wait,
that can...
Was Gerald who actually went up with the crate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna chalk this up to good old mob tricksterness. Thank you for your help, Sandy. I will be off now.
Okay. Have a good day, Mr. King.
Thank you. And the whole ride to the office, I'm gonna be thinking of how I can get Gerald to become bathed in like girl perfume and just smell like roses for the next like 3 weeks.
Excellent. You and Cesar and your new companion make their way to the office where Kallie and Liv and the assistant has been kind of chatting about some new ventures or some new people who want to take some tours. And you all finally converge in the office.
Hello, everyone. Good news. We have proof that there are rat people in the sewers.
We got a new pet.
Meet Dennis.
Oh, now you believe us, Cesar. Not after I got almost killed, but
Yeah.
you have no faith.
You didn't bring
You
a
don't, you
giant
don't
rat
trust
around.
us.
Do
You don't trust me.
Raymond,
You realize the work we're in, right?
are you taking the rat out of the crate for everyone to see in the office?
I
Oh,
feel like we pry a couple
no,
of
this
boards
is-
off the top.
Okay.
I would prefer not to get bit again. I have been healed though. I don't think I mentioned that.
I mean, you've been
Oh,
acting pretty strange recently. You sure about that?
I'll like show where my wound was.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
did
completely healed, as if you had never been bitten.
did the rat give you special healing powers?
No, Asphira bit me in my dream.
Oh,
What?
What?
She bit you in your dream?
Yeah, Callie's now blushing.
All right. I know last night we were really opposed to the idea of magic, but this seems really like a lot of hoodoo voodoo all over the place here.
Oh, look, I'll grant you, it's very strange. I don't know what's going on.
It really
We
lines
should
up with the
tread
appearance
carefully.
of the wise men, though. Also,
Yeah,
I
what's with
found
those
out
guys?
that the wise men are not staying at the hotel, so they're somewhere else in the city.
Are
I
the wise
feel like-
men rat people?
I don't know, but the coincidence of them showing up and a bunch of magic shit happening at once seems real suspicious.
Look, if we're trying to look for the wise men, I might have a guy who could send out to see if we can find him. He's expendable, so it makes it practical.
This sounds perfect.
who
Yeah.
you got?
You know that guy we were torturing yesterday, Raymond?
Yeah?
So apparently he works for us now.
Oh.
Seamus has him
Hey.
under a 20-year contract. Cut out his tongue so he can't spill the beans.
Well, can he write?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he can still write. So I have Seamus keeping an eye on him. He's gonna have him working in places where, let's just say, he won't be seen.
Well, that's a novel recruitment method.
Extra manpower is extra manpower. I did tell him if the guy steps out of line to dump him in the lake, though. So we'll see how long he survives.
Did you ask Seamus to recruit him?
No, Seamus just kind of does things. You gotta make the best use of it.
You gotta reward ingenuity.
I mean, he
Yeah.
sounds like potentially not Seamus, but your new friend, a liability. Are you sure he's loyal?
Oh, he's definitely not loyal.
But expendable. So if the wise men catch him and kill him, it's not really that big a deal.
Oh, or we could have the bug thing that I have bite him and see what happens.
That is
Well-
a good idea. Because, not gonna lie, I've been fine with killing people. That's perfectly all right. I feel like we might have crossed the line here with this guy.
Really?
This is
We just kind of shot him in the foot and made him do a little dance.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I expected Seamus to have dropped him in the river by now. What I would have done, pretty sure it's what everyone else here would have done.
Liv, do you have the bug on you?
Yeah, I have it in like a little mason jar that I like poked some holes in the lid.
Okay. As you mentioned the bug and kind of like, show the thing in the little jar, the crate with the rat begins to kind of burst open.
Whoa.
Oh.
I'll drop my knife on that one.
The rat seems to be highly agitated.
I put the bug away.
It's
is the bug? I mean, have you tried to figure out anything regarding the bug? You just let it stay overnight with you?
Oh, yeah, I just, kept it by my bed. Just so, because we're supposed to take it to our meeting tonight. So, did you get a letter in response? I did. I don't really want to talk about the messenger. I don't think it was particularly normal, but yeah. We're gonna
Eric
Wait,
brought
what do you mean
brought me a
by
letter.
that? I would love to talk about this messenger.
Oh, well, it was like, I don't know if I want to tell you. You've been having trouble believing us.
Look,
Well-
there's a giant rat sitting in the crate right here, okay? Oddities, what you got?
Well, it looked like a human, but didn't have any features, and it was all covered in skin, and it was kind of creepy, to be honest.
Oh, great.
And it
Nice.
just
So-
stood at the foot of my bed, and then it disappeared into the floor. I think. It's not under my bed.
How much did you drink last night before bed?
Okay, see, this is why I didn't want to tell you.
A puddle mannequin person.
Well, okay, so I don't actually know if it turned into a puddle, but it kind of did this weird thing where, see, I was in bed and it just kind of like sunk beneath my vision. And then I thought it went under the bed, but Lawrence checked and it wasn't under the bed, so I can only assume it went through the floor.
Huh.
need better
Eric just
security.
delivered my letter.
Oh.
It was normal, other than the being killed in my dream by a Sphera. I had a pretty normal night and morning.
I need some liquor, and I'm gonna go to the safe and get out the best liquor I have in there and pour a glass for everybody.
Yeah, Kallie has already grabbed a glass as you have grabbed the liquor,
I'll
even
drink
though she
that.
said it was normal. Clearly not. Like she's kind of
So
shaking.
what? You want me to have Seamus bring this guy over and we can have the bug bite him?
Oh, I mean, maybe we should just go to Seamus, because I don't think the rat likes the bug. Have we seen the rat yet?
I don't think you guys have taken out the
Yeah.
crate. You said you didn't.
I wanted Kallie will look, but just I don't know. Is there a way to peer in? Is there a?
It's one of your shipping crates, so it's not. You can't see inside. You have to pop up in the top just to peek inside.
Kallie will actually stand back.
Peek inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Liv will look inside.
All right, everyone who's peeking inside, go ahead and roll a flight. DC is going to be 10.
I've
Nope.
already seen this thing. I ain't looking in there.
We know
I
it's
don't
in
need to see
there.
it again.
20 on my D20
Wow.
and a
Lovely.
5. This I am good at. The sewer's all over again.
If I'm looking across the room, do I still need to roll?
No, it's only people who are peeking into the crate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liv is always ready to run away.
Well, it's great.
Yeah.
You did it. Your roll was really, really high, and that's exactly what happens. You're able to quickly run out of the way as this rat thing kind of bursts out of the cage, and it sort of begins to it's kind of doing the zoomies, but it's also stopping once in a while to sniff, because it's wanting to find the beetle or whatever if it can. But once it sees several people in here, including Raymond, it kind of looks up at all of you and then, just continues to sniff around. It doesn't really do much else.
Sit, Dennis. Sit. Stay. I'll give you a sausage.
It looks up at you as you call it Dennis. Go ahead and roll a charm.
Okay.
He's going to be 10.
DC 10. Rolling the dice. Ooh, 17.
It sits.
Good boy. I'm going to give him a sausage.
Aww.
Its tail wags. And when you give it the sausage, you don't see it chew. It just swallows it.
It just swallows it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or maybe it's just like a big ugly dog or something like that.
Oh, but it's so ugly it's kind of come around to cute again.
You
It
got weird
does
taste.
need a bath.
Hey, tell it to speak of something. Maybe it'll do tricks.
Oh, can it roll over?
Let's see if I can get it to stand again. Dennis, stand.
It just looks at you.
Stand up. Stand up.
It kind of cocks its head a little bit.
Sausage. Stand up.
Roll a grit. DC is going to be... Actually, all of you roll a grit.
Uh-oh.
DC is going to be 7.
Oh no. On
We
my
all
D6.
need to roll grit?
Yep.
It's a 5.
That's a 3.
That's a 2.
Oh my god.
16.
All right.
But it's
Whoa.
What did you get, Cesar?
2.
Okay.
2.
Liv, Cesar, and Raymond. As Raymond is looking at this little creature who you all are kind of oh, maybe just a big dog, something like that. And you're stand. And it's clear that it's trying to understand you. About the third time, it does indeed stand in a way. But what actually happens is you hear its leg bones crack as it does stand up to be about 6 foot. And the rest of its body begins to crack, including its arms and its neck and its ribs, as it begins to transform into what we can only assume is a were-rat.
No! Ah, dang it.
Liv screams and immediately runs behind Cesar.
Yes, all of you scream
Cesar
except Kallie.
pulls out the knife and goes to kill the thing.
Yeah, so Cesar is immediately like, and we're killing it. Liv is running.
No, Dennis, no, sit back down.
And Kallie, because you had such a nice big role, and you had an interesting connection with Aspira, and you still kind of have some of that residual, whatever that was, you are still looking at this creature as still very much like it's doing a command. It just didn't understand what stand meant. And so this is it still doing what King asked it to do. So it's not going to harm. It's not trying to harm anyone. It does look huge now. It's like 7 foot, like bulging. It's still like kind of transforming, and it's like its whiskers are getting longer. Its ears are huge. This thing looks frightening, and you notice that it has a bit of a metallic chrome sheen to its eyes. And that's where we'll end for the day.
Ooh.
Great. Love it.